Warning: the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hi, and welcome to Through Kaleidoscope Eyes, a weekly show where we tell stories of unsung heroes one at a time within the LGBTQIA plus community and allies. We will also be discussing various topics with each special guest. I'm your host, Lacrosse Ortiz. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to Through Kaleidoscope Eyes. I'm your host, Lacrosse, and today I have a special guest. I'm going to actually read the spiel that I wrote because this pretty much sums her up. She's a strong, educated, cultured, fun-loving, outgoing, trans Latina who is proud of who she is. Her name is Lola Rene Gonzalez. She's an activist, an advocate, entertainer, promoter. I mean, these are just a few of the things that this human being does. And I'm actually really excited to hear her story, have her share her story with everybody. I've known her a few years, and I can tell you she is a class act. She is just something else. So and she is doing her makeup. So she is in the process of doing her makeup. So when she comes on, you're not like, what is going on? She's doing her makeup. Okay. So let's bring her on. Hi, lovely.
Hi. How are you, love?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I had to give them the warning you were doing makeup.
Oh yeah, it gets crazy before it gets pretty. So
yeah, that's true. So anyway, I guess we should begin. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Lola Rene Gonzalez. I was born on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. I moved here when I was literally months old. Lived in Pennsylvania for majority of my life. In Reading, in little Reading, Pennsylvania. You know, a lot of people know Reading if you live in PA. If you don't know Reading. The Reading Railroad on the Monopoly board, that's us. That's here. We're known for pretzels and the railroad. You come here and the pagoda. So I work in the field of social services, and I'm a drag entertainer, a showgirl. I like to twirl. I'm, saving lives by day and entertaining by night. So that's a little bit about me, and thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's just, I'm so excited. I think it's so nice to sit here and to be able to get all these different stories and just dig down, because most people usually just see the entertainer, but they don't see the person behind it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's nice for people to get to know, the entertainers a little bit more and realize we are people. We're not just, we're just not the cute little face.
Right.
So,
we're more than costumes and lip syncing and performing.
Exactly. So you do social services. So tell me a little bit about that.
So I've always been someone who wants to help people. I'm big on wanting to make a difference. And I do that every day. I've worked with at-risk youth. I've worked with juvenile and adult sex offenders. I'm currently working with a population of veterans, individuals who suffer from mental health, homeless individuals, and individuals that suffer from addiction. And I work for a nonprofit, the YMCA of Reading, and I manage housing programs. And our goal is to be able to give people an opportunity, a second chance. And I really believe in that. It's a Christian-based organization, but it's really more about helping others and bringing the community together. Big on, it takes a community to do a lot. So I studied at the University of Pittsburgh and Indiana University of PA, Kutztown University, and working and helping other people. I'm big on that. And that's pretty much it, helping individuals in a time of crisis find their peace and getting themselves back together. That's really what it is.
Right. It's kind of hard to help somebody who's already got it together.
Right.
So I think, everybody has had that struggle in their life where at one point in time or another,
Mm-hmm.
you know, things kind of went sour and they needed that extra
Absolutely.
support, or, you know, that second chance. I remember, I think I was 18 and I was homeless for 3 months. And if it wasn't because, you know, I had some type of support, you know, you never know what direction your life would have went,
Absolutely.
you
And I think
know?
it's big on individuals understanding that everyone's going to need that support at some point in time, whether that's a phone call to a friend or a family member, whether that's getting food stamps or having housing, you know.
Right.
Being homeless, to me, I've never experienced it, and I would never want to wish it on anyone because it really takes away from life. You can't focus on anything. You can't really live your life to the fullest because you're worried about where are you going to rest your head, how are you going to shower, how, how are you going to eat, um, how can you get a job and be a working member of society without the basic needs, you know.
Right.
We all need those basic needs, and that's something that we all have in common. So
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been in the social services?
I've been in the social service field since 2009.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I graduated from college, I quickly got in the field. I was actually involved in the field while in school, working
Okay.
in wraparound services, in home services for kids, at risk youth. My favorite aspect of social services was seeing a change, seeing a difference, whether it's helping someone learn how to get around on a bus system. I've gotten on buses with clients, and I said, we're going to learn how you're going to take the bus today, from maybe helping someone clean their house and maintaining that, or learning how to budget and bank, working through problems, whether it's, you know, understanding if you're schizophrenic, you might hear voices once a month, you know,
Yeah.
and how are you going to deal with that? Because that's something, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Now,
Right.
working with the DNA population, individuals who want to learn how to get over an addiction because it's a lifelong thing, it's a disease. So it's been something that I've always been involved in. I've always helped you, everyone. I remember I might have been like 10 years old, and I was rushing to the car going with my family somewhere, and I ran to the car and then ran back to my parents. And my mom was like, "Why are you running back? Like, go get in the car." And I was like, "There's someone in the car." And it was a homeless gentleman. The
Wow.
car was unlocked, so it's not like he broke anything. He didn't steal anything. It was just raining the night before heavily, and he needed some place to stay. So seeing my family reach that hand out and give that person an olive branch to be able to, we took him to the Hope Rescue Mission, and it's a really interesting aspect that it's a close agency I work with today that they help house
Wow.
homeless men. So I kind of was destined for this field of work, but I didn't choose it. I felt like it chose me.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. No, that makes total sense. And to see that, how that kind of went full circle from when you were a child up until now. That's
And it's just so interesting because thinking about it now, I never thought about it like that. I
right.
remember that memory and it's always been in the back of my head, but it wasn't like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. When I was younger, I was like, I'm going to be a lawyer. I love, not that I love to argue, but I love to prove a point.
Yeah.
I love to prove a point and I love to advocate for others. You know, I've helped people in eviction court that they were going to get it wrongly evicted. I think also being Latina, I'm bilingual. Not a lot of Latinos are bilingual, and not a lot of Puerto Ricans who come from the island and live here are bilingual.
Right.
And I'm not one to say you have to learn English because there's no set language in the US,
Right.
but I'm big on some people don't have a voice, meaning they might be deaf or they can't speak, they're mute, or they don't know the language, or they're literally they don't know how to read or write. And there needs to be someone to help those individuals out. And unfortunately, some people don't have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely say like bilingual has helped me in a lot of situations. You know, I didn't force my children to learn, so I'm bad on that. But I figured if they really want to learn, they'll learn.
Yeah,
You know, it's got to be something you want to do.
absolutely. I was
Yeah.
blessed that my family, I learned at the same time. So, I mean, my English is stronger than my Spanish, but I use English and Spanish every day, you know, with my
Right.
clients. I run the only housing, um, I would say the only Spanish program for individuals in our area in Berks
Okay.
County, which is big because if you come to Reading, it's a mini Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So, we have so many Latin people in Reading, and you would think that something like that would be there. But when I started at the Y almost about to be 4 years ago, um, it shows we needed that service, and I was
Mm,
blessed with the opportunity. I didn't apply for the position. A friend of mine submitted my resume when they were talking about it in a meeting, and I'm there today, and I've been there, and I continue to be there, and who knows, I might be somewhere else. But right now, I'm big on we're put in life, we're put in places, we meet people, they come in and out of our lives for a reason. So my reason is to serve this population, and I'm
right.
proud to be there, and I'm proud to be involved.
And it's so funny because you do that during the day, and when I think about like the nightlife,
Hmm.
um, and what we do, I don't really think it's much different.
No.
I mean, it's still helping people. It's still making people forget. It's still bringing a little light to people at night.
Hmm.
I think it's definitely, I always say, drag is medicine. At least
Absolutely.
for me, it is. And I look at it like I know that in those few minutes, people are forgetting their shit. They're not thinking about their shit. They're just like, oh my God, I'm loving this music. I'm loving this person,
Right.
and that's, bringing a little joy is definitely a gift.
For me, I have a cheerleading and dance background. I cheered and danced. I cheered competitively in high school and in college, and I love performing. That's something I love to do, but it's not for me. Like my shows on Mondays, it's more or less having a place for people to do that, to step into kind of Narnia,
Right.
and step into a place where it's special, it's safe,
Right.
especially for the LGBT QIA community. Unfortunately, a lot of places are closing, and allowing allies to learn more and allowing a space for people to be creative, be themselves, is really important to me. And um, that's a reason why I do what I do in the evening. Some days I'm dead tired at work on Tuesday, or after a show, and I do it because people did it for me when I was younger. We didn't have anything around here in Reading. I remember a bunch of us piling in a car, driving to Stonewall, and that was our relief on a Thursday. We stepped
Right.
away. We were able to be ourselves, and we loved who we were and continue to. And that's what I want to
Right.
bring to people in my community as well.
Right, right, absolutely. Yeah, you're right because, like, I mean, I'm sure you heard the Tally Ho
Hmm.
is closed down. I mean, they're what I think they said the Stonewall there in I think Allentown.
Well, luckily, the Stonewall in Allentown did close with the owner they had, but there
Hmm.
is a predominantly street bar called Deja Vu in Allentown that the owners are investing in Stonewall, revamping it, and it will be
Oh,
opening as a gay bar again.
nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, because like COVID hit a lot of people hard, a lot of businesses hard.
And
You
I
know
think
what?
even before COVID, we saw a drop even here in Reading, the historical Red Star Saloon, which I
Mm.
remember getting in. We're not going to talk about this, but we are getting in before I was of age. And that opened my eyes, seeing like my drag mother perform there, and
Yeah,
seeing performers from all over, meeting queer people, meeting allies before I myself knew who I was.
right.
And I think that was a big thing. And we don't have that here. So I personally make it a move with myself and some colleagues, and we try to do a lot to continue to have that going. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's hit on our pockets, sometimes it's not. Hit on our personal lives. We're busy, we're working, but we still have these things that we try to continue to do because there's a need for it, and we see that there's a need for it. So, yeah.
And that's important because we like I mean Reading's I know Lancaster's progressive. We're very progressive here. And Reading's pretty progressive. I mean it looks like it's really coming around to,
Absolutely.
having a lot more venues. We
Not
have
only that, but providing services.
right.
Being a trans woman and transitioning, being on HRT, we have a clinic now. People, I remember
Mm,
having to go to Philadelphia, having to go
yeah.
to Mazzoni Center, and before that, people were going to like Planned Parenthood and things like that. But now there's services. I had someone, and it's interesting that you said what I do during the day is similar to what I do at night, because I had someone come up to me and say, "Hey, I want to start my transition," and he was like, I want to be on testosterone. And I said, I personally know from the woman's side. I don't know from the male side. I have
Right.
male trans friends and, loved ones that are trans and are male, but I never knew it from that component. But I said, you can reach out to this person. Here's his contact. That person is now in their transition and loving who they are in life. And to me, it was important because a drag show, connected that. So
Right.
they felt safe enough to come up to me and introduce themselves, and then later on inbox me on Facebook. And you know, I'm glad that I was able to do that for someone because someone did that for me. So
Right, right. And that's I mean, I think that that's the whole thing is when you are a trans person, we're like a walking resource,
correct.
and then it gets kind of iffy because like when you go with the passing, it's like people normally like now when they look at me, they're like they don't know.
Uh,
So,
Monday night, people did not know that you were trans because I'm
yeah,
not going to say, "Oh,
right,
introducing the cross." Not at all. Like that's not. Trans individuals don't want that. We want to
no,
be known for who we are and what we
right,
present as, and
right,
who we feel we are in heart, and who we should have been born as.
right.
And another performer who is a lesbian, and they were like, "Oh, we thought they were, naturally born men." And I said, people come in different size,
Yeah,
colors, backgrounds, queer, not queer, straight,
right.
bisexual, whatever pan. And to me, that's a big thing. Like everyone is in their own and coming into their own, and I think it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like what I love about today is there is no level of
Correct.
transitioning. You could be on hormones, not be on hormones. You could get surgery, not be on surgery.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many levels of it, and it's so beautiful to see that now. And to like, and it took like me being older, it took me a while to actually wrap my head around it because I came from a time where it was just male, female, and guys act this way, girls act that way, and this is just what's expected. And just
Absolutely.
living in, I wouldn't change the time I was born for anything because I got to live in such a beautiful time now where it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
None of it matters. It's all
Lacrosse
irrelevant.
is
It's
so
just be
old.
human.
He knows Adam and Eve personally.
I do. I do. I do. And I outlive them. How about
Right.
that?
Right. Who's winning now?
Yeah, exactly. Mm. So, speaking of transition, share your story.
So I say my transition was started with I've come out of the closet 3 times.
Okay.
As a gay male when I was younger, and then as a drag queen when I got a little bit older, and then as a trans woman. I knew it was always different. I knew I was always attracted to men. I'm one who a beautiful man will catch my eye, and not just beautiful in feature, but someone who's successful, someone who's polite, someone who has a great personality. Um, so I knew I was different in that aspect. And in my family, there were queer individuals. There were gay. I have gay uncles. I have gay aunts. But in my per se family, there was no one who was trans until later on. I have
Mm.
trans cousins, and in my drag family, I say I'm the blue, white, and pink individual. Um, my family was accepting. My father found out that I was trans through my cousin, showing him
Mm.
my new Facebook and new identity, and was just like getting used to it. I don't speak to my biological father. My mother is my biggest rock. My
Right.
siblings that I'm connected to. So, but my cousins that I feel like they're. I always say you have cousins that are like your siblings, but they were just not enough room in your household. So,
Yeah.
especially in a Spanish household.
Yeah.
So, for me, I was on hormones. I stopped hormones. I was in relationships where it was accepted that I was trans, but not yet fully trans in my transition.
Right.
And then there was relationships where it was abusive. Like, oh, you want to be a girl? Well, that's not what I want to be with. But I love you, and kind of a confusing. You love me, but you don't want to be with me, or you love me, but you don't understand trans.
Right.
So for me, I can say COVID coming on and so many people that we've lost.
Mm.
I really opened my eyes and I said, I need to live for me. I need to live for now. Ever since I've been in the field of social services, I have a canvas in my office that says, yesterday was history, tomorrow is your future, but today is your life. And I
Right.
live by that saying because we don't know if tomorrow's promised. We know yesterday happened, but we might not love what yesterday was. but we have to live in the moment, and we have to really remember, at the end of the day, you have to do for you, because if you don't, who will? And I was tired of wearing a mask. And I think every trans individual struggled at some point in time to fully understand. And like I said, now trans is everywhere.
Yeah.
Before, people really didn't know what trans was in across cultures. In the Spanish culture, and I can say being Puerto Rican, being Boricua, it's always been there and it's been accepted in certain levels. Right. And now even more than ever. And I really appreciate being Puerto Rican. I'm proud of being Latina, and I would never change that. And I'm proud that I have a family that accepts me. I've started HRT fully over a year ago, and not stopping and thinking of how people and how things. I just took my life on a whim, and I said, "This is what I want. This is what's meant to be, and I'm not going to let anyone take that away from me." Right. So for me, it was kind of like, this is your moment, and you need to live in it. And am I where I want to be? I feel that I'm still in a cocoon. I haven't been able to spread my butterfly wings fully, but I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm progressing, and I'm, living my life for me, and I'm happy. And I'm one who I'm open. I've suffered from depression and anxiety like many people do. And it's difficult when you work with individuals who do suffer with that from a deeper component. So to me, I wasn't happy. I would wake up and just not love myself. And you have to love yourself, or you can't love anyone else. Right. So I'm happy that I was able to take a step towards living my true life. So,
and that's not an easy, like, it's not an, people think it's okay. You could know you're trans, and you could know, but actually, excuse me, taking the steps, it's not easy. And a lot of people think that it's just, you just pop hormones and that's it. It's not that easy. This
right.
is,
and a lot of people don't understand you don't have to be on hormones to be trans.
Right. Right.
That's a step in the process
right.
rather. And,
right.
and you have progress. There's some people who are trans and have never taken a hormone shot or pill or testosterone ever in their life. And some people can't medically.
Right.
I'm blessed that I'm able to. I hate the process at times. Who wants to take a pill every day? But to me, that is a ritual who allows me to be who I am, and I'm okay with that. Soon I'm getting surgeries and a little anxious and nervous, but I'm happy because once, for me, I reach that level, I'm going to feel more like who I am. Right. And a lot of people don't get that. And I at times say they're never going to get that, and it's not for them to get.
Right, right. And that in and of itself is, like I was telling you earlier before the show, like me, I was taking a set amount of testosterone, and now I'm microdosing because of what it does to me physically. Correct. Like, not everybody can take these full doses of medication and be okay. It was like, literally, I was a heart attack waiting to happen.
Right.
That's how bad.
You have to adjust,
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, I know some people who are trans, a great performer, Amaya Sexton from Ohio. Mm-hmm. She now, or they identify as non-binary. She does use she, they. But when she was considered herself trans, she would have to be on hormones every other month because of how it emotionally affected her. Yeah. So everyone's process and everyone's transition is different.
Right.
There are people who they might be passable, and I hate the word passable.
Yeah.
I am who I am. Whether I'm in drag, makeup, or not, I'm still me.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm referred to as she, Miss, Lola. Right. And even it's difficult because nowadays I don't hear my last name as much as anything. It's right. Lola, Miss Lola, or, on stage, Lola Cha-Cha. I have I'm Latina, so I have like 2 last names. But, to me, a lot of individuals don't get it, and it's not for them to get, as long as you're respectful. I feel that I'm a respectful person to everyone. And that's all I ask, is people to show me the same respect I show them.
Exactly. We have a few comments here. Well, Teddy is he's the big boss. So my boss is watching.
Hi, Teddy.
Then we have Sandy. Sandy is always such a great support. I'm kind of scrolling through some of these. How awesome her parents helped that guy out. Sandy said hello. So hello, Sandy.
Hello.
Oh, this is cute. She got skills with that makeup.
Thank you.
And Mamas are the rock. And this is really good. The only way I judge a person is by their heart, not their body,
Yeah.
which is true. And then said here, I judge people how they treat me.
Absolutely.
If I don't know them, I don't judge. And that's what it is at the end of the day. I treat people the way you treat me. You're cool with me, I'm cool with you.
Absolutely.
You want to be an a-hole? Well, I don't even know that I even have the energy to be an a-hole back. I think I just kind of.
So.
Yeah,
I think sometimes it's, we treat people how we are treated. If you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. I'm not the type of person I'm going to go out and purposely disrespect someone.
Right.
But I also look at it as I'm not being disrespectful. I'm matching energy. So if you're being shady, it's not that I'm going out of my way to be shady, but I'm just not going to be loving and warm-hearted. I'm just going to be reserved and cut back. And some
distant.
People feel, oh, okay, they see that difference and they're like, okay, well, she's being a bitch. No, I'm not being a bitch. I'm holding back from being a bitch, which I can be. But, I think we have to protect our heart and our happiness at all costs.
Absolutely.
And we talked about certain things before the show that, sometimes we have to understand, I'm going to forgive you for what you've done to me, not for you, but for me, because I don't have the energy to hold that on. And sometimes I went through some things recently in past years where there's people I don't speak to, and I'm okay with that. Do I miss memories and do I miss, certain things that I've shared with those people? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we have to hold ourselves true to who we are and love who we love. And I might have love for that person, but I'm not going to be as loving. So,
And it goes down to, I always say it goes down to, there is selfish and self-preservation.
Correct.
Okay. And self-preservation is a whole, I live by self-preservation. I have to protect me. I have to take care of me. And if it means at some point in time saying this person is just not compatible, and I got to kind of nix that for my own mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health, they got to go because it's self-preservation.
Absolutely.
And I have no shame, which is like, I'm pretty much the same way. If somebody's shitty to me, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to distance myself and call it a day, because like, once again, it's just not worth the energy.
And we can't allow others to take away from who we are.
Right.
When we allow people to take a piece of us away from ourselves, it's not a winning thing or, whatever, but it's more or less, it's not fair. No one should be able to do that to you, and you shouldn't be able to do that to anyone else.
Right.
And, people come in and out of your life every day for specific reasons. And whether it's a lesson learned, whether it's a relationship for life, whatever it might be, you have to learn, and you live and love how you live and love, and you move forward. You live, you learn. Every day is a new lesson. Yep. You can be on this earth since before Christ and still be kicking, but you're still going to learn something new every day. And if you don't, you have to evaluate yourself and say, what am I missing? Because we all do right, we all do wrong. We might not want to do wrong or mean to do wrong, but sometimes we do, and we have to understand, hey, how can I do different? What did I do wrong in that situation? So
Right. Yeah, it's so funny because I would always remember telling my kids, and I'm like, you make people earn your affections and your love. And then as I got older, I started, not only do they have to earn that, they have to earn my hatred too. It's too much. This, it's an emotion, and I don't just give my emotions to just anybody. Right. So as much as you got to earn for me to love you, you got to earn for me to hate you. You got to do some really serious shit.
It's a lot of energy to love someone, and it's a lot of energy to hate someone. Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and with that, we are going to go to commercial break. We are halfway through. Damn, that went by quick, didn't it?
Right.
Okay, let's go to commercial break. Tune in to Kaleidoscope Eyes with your host, Transman Lacrosse Ortiz. Every week, we will be touching topics within the LGBTQIA plus community. We will also be having interviews with individuals within the community and allies. Journey with us as we share in their struggles and triumphs every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels: Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows, LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows, Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.
Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows. You can find our shows where you listen to your favorite podcasts, like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. WLFE-DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com.
Wow, Amazon Music just got a whole lot better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found there. Yes, we are on Amazon Music, found under podcasts. Download the app, find podcasts, and search all of your favorite shows. Shows like Where's My Sage, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and much more. Now you don't have to miss an episode ever. Amazon Music is WLFE-DB Radiofied.
Oh yeah, life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Okay, we're back. So, what are some of the goals? Like, what do you have planned?
Well, in my personal life, I'm working towards. I would like to start a nonprofit to house trans and LGBT individuals. Really, it's about helping the community. And then in like my performance life, getting into more pageants and the glitz and glam of everything. I have surgery scheduled in like I would say like October, November-ish. So things like that.
So it's going to be a busy year.
Life. Yes. A busy year.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm done with all those. Like, I'm just, I'm finally out of the recovery and having like literally, I'm going to be 4 years in. No, 3 years. Yeah, I hit 3 year mark this year and I'm going into 4. And now, believe it or not, is where some normal, like now it's starting to get into some normal type of lifestyle.
Right.
Like it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I don't think people realize this does not happen overnight. It takes years. And, you know, and it's hard because in the beginning, I don't know if you had this happen. I was like, I want it now. I want it now. I want to change now.
I think everyone in the trans lifestyle goes through that, and they have to understand it's a process, and it's not always going to happen in that way. And it takes some time, and I can say it took me some time. My body changed in certain ways, and, you know, forming breasts and, you know, certain things like that. And it takes some time, and we have to remember to tell ourselves that it's going to take some time. Like you said, it doesn't happen overnight, and there's no magical door that we can step into and be exactly who we're meant to be. You know,
Right.
it's a process. So,
Yeah.
but I think everyone needs to learn from that process. We can't just expect things to be what they are right away.
Yeah, I think the best thing, like with me, I had to make sure I had lots of therapy because I think therapy is important for your transition.
Absolutely.
Just to have somebody to soundboard, you know, and remind you why you're doing what you're doing. Keep yourself focused and leveled. You know, that was really important to me. What would you say was one of the most important things to keep you leveled and grounded?
I think for me is to connect with trans individuals and understand everyone's transition is different. I have a lot of trans friends who some are already post-op, some are pre-op. Um, some you would never even know that they were born the opposite sex. But
Right.
for me, it took time to understand that everyone's transition is their own. Don't judge your transition, your possibility by somebody else's. And to me, that was the biggest thing. Therapy for me, it's a great, and I'm a big person and big believer because I do, you know, I work in the field. Is therapy is needed for everyone, whether you're trans or not, whether you're, you know, going through something, whatever it is. Like having somebody there who is not connected to you and can hear you, and they're not judgmental. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like therapists, we're not there to judge you. We're there to help you, and we're helping guide you through the work. You're doing the work, you know, and that's the big part. But for me, it was understanding my transition's mine. It's no one else's, and not judging mine by somebody else's.
Right, because it's an individual journey.
Correct.
I mean, we each have a journey. I mean, whether and this is just a part of the journey. It's not the complete journey. You know, there's so many different aspects: spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Absolutely.
It's just constantly growing. You know, so let's talk about some pictures here. We have this coming up.
Oh God. Okay, so I'm super excited. This picture is the flyer for and promotion for Reading Drag Brunch. This month we present the Pride Drag Brunch. This is actually also the birth month of the RDG Drag Brunch. It's here every last Saturday of the month in Reading. Saturday, it's coming up. I have a cast of beautiful, amazing performers, very inclusive cast, trans individuals, non-binary. We have a gay man who performs in the art of drag. We have gay men who perform, and they give a female illusion. So Reading Drag Brunch is something that is evolving and will continue to evolve, and something that we started years ago, but it's actually took off. We've been through a pandemic, have been able to have some fully sold out shows to a certain amount, but now our venue can hold up to 300 people.
Wow.
So it is 2 floors, or 3 floors actually, but 2 floors where you actually can see the show. Before, during the pandemic, it was difficult because we had to do specific orders and all that madness. Now Eventbrite does everything, and I bring the caterer, they do the buffet. I just have to make sure I look pretty and I'm ready to perform and dance. So
there you go.
It's every last Saturday at the Reading Distilling Guild. I love supporting local businesses, especially since this bloomed and blossomed during COVID, which was so ugly. But we support local businesses. They're such great partners. My partner in business, DJ Lewis, he's amazing. We do other shows, my Monday show and some of his events. So it's an amazing time.
Right here, I think this is the Monday show.
Love. That's Monday night. It's Rainbow Mondays, which actually I can say I am someone who like the famous I would say she was a drag queen. She was on Paris is Burning, Crystal LaBeija, and she said that she governs things with a satin glove, and her thing is she doesn't own it. She didn't create it. I never created Rainbow Mondays. I just am the person currently carrying the torch and the legacy. My drag mother, Kiki Don Diva, and a few great queens from Allentown, they started this before I performed, and starting in the performance art of drag, it was passed on to me, and that's what I wanted to create, was continue to create a space where people feel the ability to be themselves.
Yeah, Cabana is something else. Like it's so funny because it's like Monday night. It's like we thought, I didn't see. Next thing you know, the place is packed. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Absolutely. That's how it is. Like, and I don't know why people in Reading love to go out late.
Late.
And I don't, and especially
Yeah.
on a Monday. And
I
then
mean,
I have
they
people
really
that are
run
like,
on
I want
drag
to go to your
time.
shows, but they're late on Monday. And mind you, we start earlier than we used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, oh my God, no one's coming out. And and it's not that nobody wants to support. It's a Monday. And
Yeah.
um, people have things to do. And the crowd's not just the young 21. We have people who are moms, dads, sisters, brothers. Like, they have responsibilities. And
Yeah.
I just love everyone who comes out because it's always a great time.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's always a blast. It's always a blast. Here we have one of your performance pictures.
That's actually from Drag Brunch. I believe that's last month. I don't even remember the song I performed to. I think it might have been Versace on the Floor. But coming into I would say my transness, my butterfly, I would never perform half naked. And now
Right.
seeing changes in my body and being confident in who I am, I really put that into my drag. So
Right.
that's a number from Brunch.
Oh, this is a stunning, beautiful picture of you.
Thank you. That was getting ready for a night out with friends. Um, Before, Lola would never wear blonde hair, and now I love it because I get compliments, and it's not that I'm looking for a compliment or seeking it.
Right.
It's just now I understand. I'm learning more about myself. What looks good on me, what doesn't look good. But yeah, that was a regular night going out, and I think we went out to Philly to support a show.
Oh, nice. And last one, here you are.
That is from an event that just passed.
Okay.
It was like a new Pride celebration that's going to be happening every year during the month of Pride. That was thrown by DJ Lewis. It's Reading is Burning, a little playoff of Paris is Burning. And,
Nice.
It's a great experience. It's at a venue called Reverb, which is a concert venue. Which,
oh, wow.
It's great that Lewis opened the door for performers there, and they're accepting and they love the QIA community.
Oh, that's great. Well, you got a lot of shows keeping you busy.
I love it, and
yeah,
it's fun, and I know I'm not going to be doing it forever, so I might as well stay booked,
right,
and busy while I can.
Exactly. Oh, Genevieve said hello. Hi, Genevieve. Thank you for popping in. So moving forward, now with now do you feel like more venues are now opening up in Reading, like with the drag? Like there's a lot more opportunities now because like I think since so many of the businesses have closed, it's opening doors to so many other venues who maybe before wouldn't have done it.
Right. And I think also drag has become mainstream with RuPaul's Drag Race and Dragula, and people are more open. And even though we're not where equality is not where it should be,
right,
it's always like RuPaul said, a continuous fight for human rights and equality. But more people are more accepting and understanding, and I love to see at Drag Brunch have more straight people than gay people or anybody else, and the men who come out with their girlfriends, and I love it because it just shows people can be more accepting than anything.
Yeah. Once again, we're living in a good time. Hopefully, we'll get to a time where these won't even be issues at all.
Correct.
But I mean, we're living in a pretty good progressive time, I think. Definitely. So, speaking of which, so if you have any advice you would give to somebody who's beginning, like some real heartfelt advice for somebody who doesn't know or whatever, like what are resources or things that you think are the best direction for them to start?
I think the best thing is first, it's a leap of faith. You have to take that leap, whether it's coming out of the closet as a gay individual or non-binary or stepping into your transition. It's a leap of faith, and you have to understand everyone's scared at some point in time. Someone out there felt how you were, and they're no longer feeling in that way. Or they might at some point in time. And life is a struggle. Life is a journey. We will always struggle. And not that we want to, but you struggle when it's something, we go through things and we struggle because things aren't easy. if it's easy, it's not meant to be.
Right.
So my biggest thing would be is feel comfortable to take that leap of faith. And resources, do your research. I transitioned late in life. I mean, for myself, I'm 33. I'll be 34 next month. But I know individuals who is in her early 20s and she had bottom surgery already before
Wow.
a lot of other people would have. And my thing is, if you're unhappy, do something about it. Don't just sit
Right.
there. Don't feel bad for yourself. Do something about it. Be a change maker for yourself. So there
Right.
are resources at LGBT centers and across the country, online resources. Um, Even as early, if you're in school, speak to your guidance counselor. That purple or magenta, pink triangle means something, whether it's in school, whether it's, the therapist's office. It's a safe haven for you to express who you are. There's no judgment. And
Right.
really, it's love yourself enough to do what you need to do for yourself. I think some people are scared, and it's okay. If you're not
Right.
scared, there's a problem, you know.
Right.
And we all have fear, whether that's driving for the first time, coming out of the closet, trying a new hairstyle,
Yeah.
but you have to try it because you're going to regret later on in life. And I live life with no regrets.
Right. Yeah. I never want to be a shoulda, woulda, coulda person. You know,
Correct.
that's life is too short. And
Absolutely.
once again, we were talking, it's about the legacy you're going to leave behind. What are you going to leave behind?
Correct.
In what way, shape, or form. So,
Hmm.
so we
And
have,
like one of my favorite artists is Beyonce.
yeah.
And she said, the footprints that you leave in the sand of time. And I believe, I live by that.
Mm, that's very deep, very deep, very, very deep. So where can people find you?
Facebook, Lola Rene Gonzalez. If you want to follow my Snapchat, it's Lola Rene XOXO. Um, I'm on Instagram by the same handle. They can catch me at a show performing. I'm at the YMCA. I support local businesses. So I'm out and about in the community. I believe it's important to be seen, whether you're gay, straight, bi, trans. Let's get out.
Mm,
Especially this around this time, it's scary because of COVID, and I'm a big advocate on getting vaccinated. I'm
right.
I say I'm vaxxed and waxed. There's clinics, it's free. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones. um, the mask can only do so much, and
Right.
we have to try and move forward out of this. I call it being on timeout.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel like we're all sitting in the corner, not allowed to
Hmm.
do anything. That was a long year, but I think at the same token, it was a good year. It was a good time of reflection. It made people
Absolutely.
stop and really think and reevaluate priorities and what just basic life. I mean, I know it did for me.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I think there was a
And
lot of
people,
things that, and it forced
a
me to
lot of
slow
people who
down.
would take time with others for granted.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because if anything,
It
like I
forced
said,
a lot of people to slow down,
yep,
and it forced a lot of people to realize what they cherish and what's
yeah,
important to them.
absolutely, absolutely. And like I know a lot of people said, oh, it sucked, it was terrible. I I don't think it was too bad for me. I was very fortunate in the sense that I didn't. A lot of people did struggle with depression and loneliness and things like that, but I think I was very fortunate that it wasn't that bad.
I think something
So
positive out of COVID for me, my transition and committing to myself, but also I think professionally now we're able to provide therapy via Zoom, or
yeah,
people who are in NA or NA or AA stay connected that way, and it opened up a lot that we didn't use before, and we learned how to use technology more savvy. And like for the art of drag, we had so many virtual shows, which I
oh
hate.
yeah,
I hated virtual shows. I feed off the audience, and I was
yeah,
just like, well,
yeah.
let me do these, and but I hated them. But
What?
it gave people the opportunity, introverts who didn't want to go out already. I think it helped them kind of step out a little bit more. So people really hated COVID, but COVID, unfortunately, we lost people, but
Yeah.
it helped us grow too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. I mean, there was so many things you could do online that it just wasn't done before. It almost like
Correct.
opened up a whole new outlet. So I
Like
really,
big as like people doing bingo online. Like I
yeah.
saw purse bingo, and I'm just like, I would have never thought about that. And people still had some type of normalcy. Yeah, you were doing it from home on your phone or your iPad or laptop. But the thing is, like, sometimes we got to keep ourselves at home. You know,
Right.
we don't always need to be out and about.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like actually it was in the midst of COVID because originally when I wanted to do shows, I wanted to do them with being present with people.
Uh-huh.
And that was not feasible. So I ended up having to put that thing on hold the whole time. And then, somebody told me, well, what about this? And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a perfect idea
Uh-huh.
to be able. So you're in the comfort of your own home. Everybody can just sit there and just talk and relax and chill and not be worried or anxiety ridden, because they're not home. So,
right. And I think it taught us a lot about ourselves. Like, like you said, prioritize and kind of think what's really important. And it helped us learn how some things, and I feel like COVID taught a lot of people how to wash their hands, because a lot of people weren't as cleanly or hygienic when it came to washing their hands. And that's a big thing. Like, just even learning, like,
right. No, absolutely.
I'm a big believer in everything.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said, I feel like we learned from everything, a crisis, a blessing, so we learned a lot.
Absolutely. There was a lot of learning, a lot of loss, a lot of hurt, a lot of triumph, like in so many different directions that things went. Like, I just look at it, I was like, everything was all over the place, but it was very, once again, I my own self, it was a lot of progress and journey. It was big progress, like changing myself, changing my patterns. And literally, I think also the isolation also caused me to be more reserved, in the sense before I was so open and would let just anybody in. And now it's just made me more cautious, in the sense protective of myself. So
right, and I think it did. I can agree with that. It did the same thing for me. I was just sad that kids, like schooling and like some things I wish would have not happened. Like kids with special needs, they weren't getting the proper education.
Yeah.
And it was hard for certain people. And unfortunately, now hopefully, if people are getting vaccinated and things are opening up more, we're able to move forward and past that and get back some normalcy in our life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal. I know that's the goal for me, man. I just want to go back to normal. And well, we've pretty much yeah, we definitely got all that in there. I just want to make sure I touched all my bases.
Okay.
So is there anything else you want to touch? Any other subjects you'd like to touch?
I'm an open book, so I'm touching about anything. I'm a talker, if you don't already tell. I just want to thank you for the opportunity. I've never been able to tell my story like this. I've been featured in some LGBTQIA like magazines and articles, and I'm not one that I don't always want to be in the spotlight, but when I get the opportunity to talk, I've heard other people talk, like Laverne Cox, whenever she tells her story, Carmen Carrera, individuals in ballroom, because I was born in the ballroom world. I walked out. I'm a part of the legendary house and iconic house of Ninja. So whenever I've heard someone else's story, it helped me understand you have to share a little bit of you to help someone else. If my story touches anyone, gay, straight, queer, trans, I hope it touches someone and helps them live their life better, and I don't like to talk about when I was a gay boy or growing up all the time, but for me, I don't care as long as it helps someone, and that's the biggest thing, is touching someone else, because people help me in that manner.
Right. It's always about giving back. Always about giving back. Oh, we have some more people pop in too. We have Bree. We had
Hi, love.
Tracy Boyer. Here's Jesus. Hello, mi amor.
Hi, Jesus.
Whitley. Hi, Ma.
Hi, Whitley.
Oh,
Make sure you
Sandy,
guys
she enjoyed
support
this.
on Saturday, Lebanon's first Pride event. They have the
Yes.
Lebanon Pride happening. Whitley's hosting that. It's
Absolutely.
amazing to see some great things happening in areas that they wouldn't. I seen Shamokin has a Pride event. I would have never
Yeah.
thought. I think of Shamokin and I think of the one Latino boy who was shot and killed.
Oh, yeah.
For being Latino, and that was years ago, and that
Yeah.
stays in my mind. But now, when I saw that today on Facebook, I hearted it because
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me, I'm not going to be there, and I've never been to Shamokin more than twice, and that was due to work. But
Right.
I'm glad to see people are progressing and things are progressing and things are changing because
Yeah.
that's what we need. We need that.
I mean, yeah, even Poconos is having their first one.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I was like, wow. And Hershey, look, Whitley just said Hershey also. I'm like, so many. And that's another thing here. We're coming out of this. And I think this wouldn't have been able to happen before if anything, like if we didn't go through that, all the isolation. Now people are like, look, we got to get out. We have to support the community. You know, it's so crazy. Something as simple as like listening to 96.9 today and every commercial, it's like the LGBT community and the Trevor Project. And I'm like, wow, this wasn't like this a couple years ago.
Not at all.
You know,
and I don't see as many protesters at these events either.
Nope.
Because that was a big thing. And now I think they've gotten tired of getting pushed aside and not listened to.
Right.
Or they're just now understanding, let these people live their life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we still have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a lot of work to do, you know, because people just, I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase it. It's just the work isn't done. It's not done.
And, you know, I think a big part of it is that the people are still scared of things that they don't know. A lot of people, they might not have a gay individual in their family, or they might not have a trans individual in their family. So for them, they don't know what it is. So they're automatically going to hate or protest it.
Right.
Protest things that are wrong. Protest, you know, police brutality. Protest in certain immigration things. Don't protest someone wanting to live their best life. Me being trans, that doesn't do anything to you.
Exactly.
You know, me living my life has nothing to do with anyone else other than me living my life, you know?
Right. And that's my biggest question. How is it affecting you? Like, how is it affecting you if I'm just living my life, minding my business? That's it. How is that affecting? You know, are you that concerned of my soul or whatever? I don't even know what people's concern are, but it is what it is.
And that's their concern. And I'm going to keep it pushing, you know. If I can help change somebody's opinion about it, you know, that's great. But if I can't, I'm not out here trying to, like, I'll stand up for trans rights. And I participated in a march here in Reading that friends of mine threw. And, you know, it was a Black Lives Trans Matter march.
Right.
And it's just important. Even if you just share something on Facebook that's like, you know, no hate.
Yeah,
let's love each other. Like, before, it took a community to raise a child. And now we have people who don't even speak to each other because of race, gender, you know, sexuality or whatever. And it's just like, let us live our lives. Like, I think we're so worried about the next person that we're taking away from ourselves. Focus on you. Don't focus on me. I'm walking on this side of the street, minding my business, doing what I'm doing. Mind your business. Unless I'm personally affecting you, then that's different. You know what I mean? Like, and just a message for all the straight individuals out there. Trans individuals don't just come up and hit on you. A gay man's not going to come and hit on you. You know, it's not like that. And I appreciate people who are straight and don't identify in the LGBTQIA community and they're allies, and they understand that. I have some straight men who come to shows and they love to have a good time. And I'm a performer. I won't dance on somebody unless I personally know you or whatnot.
Right.
But there's times where there's straight men that'll grab my hand and I'll dance with them. And hey, you might slide in my DM later on. That's a whole different story. But, you know, I'm not hurting anyone living my best life. And I want everyone to live their best life, whether that's living your life and as a trans individual or, you know, live your life and do you. No one needs to be bothered by how somebody's living their life.
Right. Well, here Whitley put, it's always about love.
Absolutely.
100%. Some people are mad about things they don't or won't educate themselves. That's really what it is. It's a place of uneducation, of ignorance.
Yeah, it's really ignorant if you hate something or you don't believe in something, you dislike it, and you don't take the opportunity to learn about it.
Right, to even know.
That's
like,
a big thing.
how are you going to hate something you don't even know anything about?
Correct.
Here we have, I've been scared for many years coming out to my parents and friends that I'm lesbian. My mom still don't support me. I support everyone in the LGBTQ plus.
And there's sometimes, like, this is big for me. My mom is Catholic, and my mom is so Catholic. I'll tell you, we went to go see the movie The Devil Inside, which you questioned, is it religion or is it mental health? They performed an exorcism on a woman or whatnot. But long story short, my mom, she was sitting there, con esto no se juega, you don't play with that, you know? So for me, it's, my mom's very Catholic, and my mom doesn't believe, or like her beliefs don't allow her to believe in homosexuality or trans, but I'm her child, and she loves me, and she's going to support me no matter what. And we butt heads, and there's times where she uses the wrong pronoun, or, you know, and she corrects herself and she apologizes. And I love her because she's supportive in that way. And she loves me for being her child and wants me to be happy.
Exactly.
And that's all it's about, is love, happiness, you know.
And the truth is when you truly, truly love, everything else falls to the wayside.
Correct.
Everything else, it becomes irrelevant. You know, what their belief system is, or it just goes away. You know, my mother was Señor Reprenda al Diablo. She was a typical Pentecostal minister, you know? And there it is. Khalif said, can we talk about heterosexual people speaking on trans experiences or having opinions on trans experiences without knowledge?
I don't even think we need to waste time talking about that, because those individuals are a part of that ignorant world where they might not know, you know, and they don't want to take the opportunity to know or learn. And sometimes the best way to combat ignorance and negativity is not even give it any form of attention. Right.
I always say, you know what? Leave people hungry. If they don't want to feed themselves, you leave them hungry. Because at the end of the day, if they, you know, if they don't want to learn, they don't want to feed. They don't want to know. So you know what? You can stay hungry. I'm going to have a full meal over here.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. You know?
Well, that's like, it's similar, but not like people who critique drag or judge drag, and they don't know anything about it. They've never performed. They might have went to one or two shows, or, you know, trying to produce some things. Yeah. Like, if you're not willing to learn about the culture, if you've never been tucked for hours or cinched for hours, how dare you talk about anybody's anything? If you've never walked in a pair of heels, I don't want to hear it. Like, if you don't know about something, don't talk about it.
Exactly. Because let me tell you,
trying to learn.
Right. I mean, exactly. That there's that reason. But if it's easy to sit there and talk about it when they don't know. Anyway, well, we are at the end of our show, and thank you so. Look at how beautiful you are.
Thank you.
So we're at that. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that you shared the story, and it's going to be on all the networks. So make sure, share it. And for all of you out there, like and share and follow Lola.
Absolutely. Support events, support future events that we talked about, like Saturday. Tickets are still available on Eventbrite. Support upcoming events that have nothing to do with drag or the LGBT community. Support each other, you know. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. And with that, thank you everyone for stopping in. Much love to you all, and bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode on Through Kaleidoscope Eyes. I sure do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe to the show. See you next week.